How big was it to have Gibbs as such a difference maker?
It's huge. And, you felt like this was coming. You felt like that this has been building, and, as he gets in better shape and starts getting his feet under him, starts getting a feel of it, starts breaking some tackles, you just feel like every week it's gotten closer and closer. And tonight was the night where he busted one of these out of there, and there'll be no looking back. I mean, I think he's just going to continue to do this.
That was Lions head coach Dan Campbell on Jahmyr Gibbs' big night. Guys, as you see on the top of the board here, over 36 fantasy points.
Yeah, a week ago on Football Night in America, I said, hey, can he get 25 receiving yards? That was my best bet. And did he get it? No, he did not.
He got 2 targets for 0 yards.
Exactly. He had done, up until that time, he'd hit it in every single game. Last week, of course, he doesn't. This week, he goes out, has 50 yards in the first quarter.
Betting is so fun.
Betting is really fun. Luckily, I get to do it in front of, 20 million people every single week. Jahmyr Gibbs is awesome. I don't know, my only takeaway from Detroit, they were awesome. Goff did what he needed to. Amon-Ra is Amon-Ra. Is there's twofold. First off, let's talk about Jameson Williams. So he's had 2 games this entire year with 7 or more fantasy points. On the season, he's wide receiver 57. He has yet to see a red zone target or an end zone target. I get that he had the blow-up game a couple of weeks ago, and he always has that potential because of the speed, but I think unless you're willing to start him every single week hoping for that blow-up game, it's welcome to Dumpsville population Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and it's crazy to think a guy that's making $80 million or whatever that contract is he signed, but he's just not a part of this offense. He's certainly not a consistent part of this offense, and they are effective moving the ball. So it's not like, that it's not working, so maybe they turn to Jameson Williams. What they're doing is working.
Yeah. The issue is that they're an extremely low pass rate over expectation team because their identity is the offensive line and the run game. And then in terms of where he sits in the pecking order among pass catchers, it's kind of 4th because it's Amon-Ra by distance, Sam Laporta, and then the running backs. And then Jameson Williams. There will be games. They will have games. He'll have a 25-point game sometime the rest of the way.
But you won't be able to guess when that is.
No.
So do you risk having a goose egg in your lineup that probably sinks your week?
I am completely if I had Jameson Williams, I don't have any shares of him this year, but which is surprising given the state of my team. You'd think I'd have spent a second round team.
The issue with Jameson Williams is so other boomer basketballs like Rashid Shaheed. Rashid Shaheed, his bad games are still he'll give you 4 for 49 or whatever, and he won't absolutely. Jameson Williams gives you 2 for 40 or 0
he just
or
kills
1 for 9. That's just not tenable.
2 targets, 0 receptions, 0 yards, 0.0 in terms of fantasy points. So he is somebody that I would dump. I guess you can't get rid of Laporta because he's a tight end, but Brock Wright was better than him last. It didn't matter because Gibbs had such a monster game. Evans gets hurt early, so I knew quickly that I was dead against Lawrence. But it was just sort of had Evans caught a couple long touchdowns and Gibbs had it was driving me crazy. How can you not get the ball to Sam Laporta? And they just don't. And I know in theory he's a good tight end, but fantasy wise he just seems like a
lot of other tight ends.
More touchdown dependent.
Rather than the difference making tight end that you draft him to be sometimes. It's kind of I hope I get a touchdown here.
I have a ton
about Hunter Henry.
I have a ton of Tyler Warren this year, but in the one league that I don't have him in is our league. And I remember he was on the board, and I remember thinking, I'm not drafting Tyler Warren, this rookie, over Sam Laporta. So I drafted Sam Laporta, one of the many mistakes I made in that particular draft. And I obviously would not do that if I was drafting again today.
Won't have to worry about it nenext year. The way Tyler Warren's playing.
No,
Texans at Seahawks. This was a very odd game. It just felt like it was so much further away than the Seahawks just made some weird mistakes that kept the Texans around, but it felt so hard for the Texans to do anything right on offense besides dump the ball to Dalton Schultz here, guys, which leads me to ask, Matthew, what do you do with a potentially injured now Nico Collins?
I think you have to hold him and you have to hope, right? Just see how bad it was. It was tough, right? He's been bad this year relative to expectations. Hasn't had 80 receiving yards or 5 receptions in a game. His fantasy success has mostly been some touchdowns. That's always going to happen, but C.J. Stroud looks lost. He looks more like C.J. Stroud from last year than he did 2 years ago.
Without a doubt.
You can't get in that close and not convert a touchdown. That was awful.
Yeah.
I don't know. He looks like he's at the yips.
The one thing with Nico is that he did drop a really easy ball that he could have housed 60 yards, and everything looks a bit different. You just got to hold on to Nico Nico Collins. You can't sell him now when he's in this vein of form. He's too good. It'll come around like it came around for A.J. Brown, like it came around for Ladd McConkey. Nico, you trust in the talent. It's rough now. If he doesn't play, I don't think he's starting a single Texan against the Niners.
No, maybe Dalton Schultz.
You might stream Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, that would be
Schultz
the only one.
Yeah.
But prior to leaving in the fourth quarter, he had a 36% target share. I mean, they do scheme him open. We do believe in the talent. It's been a tough run for the entire Texans offense. By the way, I just Googled who's the most famous Jay in the world, and it's an awful list. Jay Manuel from America's Next Top Model, Jay Leno, whoever Jay Lethal is. I guess is he a wrestler?
I think I want to know
What
that.
about my
Jay
man
Rock?
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler, Jay Park, Jay Williams,
Yeah,
of course,
Jay
my
Williams.
former colleague at ESPN.
Sure.
Jay Williams, Jay Thomas,
Yeah, so
good old
he's
Got to
DJ.
crack this
Yeah,
list.
there's an avenue.
Yeah.
There's a little pathway.
Jay
might just be
Baruchel,
Jay.
the actor, the comedian. Like, I'm just looking. Jay Farrow, he was on Saturday Night Live for a little bit.
What about Jay-Z?
Well, yeah, but he's not a Jay.
No,
like
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z is obviously like one of the 5 most famous people in the world.
First
but
name's not Jay.
his first name is Sean. He's Sean Carter.
That's how people win. If I'm in like Starbucks or something and I say my name and they don't understand because of the accent, I'll be like Jay, like Jay-Z, and they'll look at me funny like,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't get funny.
Yeah.
Jay
But that's
Moore.
the easiest one.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say, oh, my name's Jay, like Jay Cutler.
Yeah, it's fair enough. Yeah.
Or
Jay Bruce.
Like Jay Lethal.
Jay Bruce. Great. New York.
Great Cincinnati Red.
Did not
He's on
think
the
Jay
Mets
Bruce would
briefly.
make this. Sunday night, Aaron Rodgers faces Green Bay for the first time in his career as the Steelers host Jordan Love and the Packers. And don't forget to get the day started with Matthew, Jay, Lawrence, and George at 11 a.m. Eastern on Fantasy Football Pregame, which will be live from Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Yes.
We will be out there.
From the Berg.
From Acrisure Stadium. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.